I first got into Counter-Strike through Half-Life, and my oldest brother in '97, when the game came out, he bought Half-Life. We used to play network games all the time. We used to play Half-Life 1 multiplayer. Then when we found out about Team Fortress Classic, we used to play that all the time. Then one of my brother's friends came over to the house, and he's like, "Hey guys, have you heard of Counter-Strike?" I'm like, "No, what's that?" So he downloaded it for us, put it on the computer, and then basically after the first time I played it, I was hooked on it. I was playing it. I'd come home from school, start playing it right away. It was like a whole new experience for me, and I got hooked on it right away.
It didn't take long for Steele to work his way up the ESCA ladder. In his first season, playing under CyberRev, he would win ESCA Open and immediately move up to the Invite division for CS Source. He would continue to compete under the CyberRev banner for 2 more seasons, making ESCA playoffs each time.
Fast, you know, this weekend. Compliance.
Ooh.
Fonder's lurking spawn, don't worry about it.
Oh my god, dude, T-spawn.
He picked me through the door.
Are you serious, bro?
In August 2010, Steele would join the #1 team in North America for Counter-Strike Source, Team Dynamic. They would quickly find international success at DS Rack #3, taking a 2nd place finish against Very Games. Only a couple weeks later, in November of 2010, Team Dynamic would defend their ESCA Invite crown, earning Steele his first championship from a large tournament.
One of the things I think that has been standing out about you guys is the character that you've shown. For example, when you were starting to lose rounds as CT on Inferno against Thermal Take, you changed it up. Is this indicative of how much you want to win this event?
Definitely. I mean, when we get down, I mean, during practice and scrims, we can all, start yelling at each other and we'll fall apart.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the land, when it comes down to the money, I mean, we keep our heads in the games. We're there to win. I mean, this is a boatload of cash. We're here to win it all the way.
Shortly after winning his first ESCA title, Steele and Dynamic would part ways after being together for only 3.5 months. Steele would rejoin his old friends at CyberRev, and at the age of 21, move halfway across Canada to join the team at their gaming house located in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Days asked me to sucker punch you. Yes! Yes! Relax.
Not before a match! I'm blind. Here, I'm flashing over just to bait flash. I'm nading ramp, I'm flashing ramp. I'm pushing in. One's ramp still. He's looking at me instead of you flanking, I guess. I'm smoking upstairs. He's fucking shoddying in a match! Good lord, I'm playing Cal Open again.
Season 8 of ESCA would be marked with controversy for CyberRev. Due to the roster rules of ESCA and various player issues, CyberRev was forced to play their entire season with their manager. Despite stumbling at some points during the season, the team did manage a top 4 finish and qualified for the ESCA playoff LAN. After qualifying for the LAN, Dazed would decide that it was not worth the effort to attend due to the team competing with their manager. Dazed would be banned for 1 season from ESCA for LAN dodging, although the decision by Dazed makes much more sense once you consider that the entire prize pool for the CS Source Invite division was only $11,000, and CyberRev likely only had a realistic chance at a 2nd or 3rd place finish, netting them a couple $1,000s at best, not nearly enough to pay for the entire trip.
Finish up their match against Vindicated on Dust 2. Here's the stat page. We beat them 16-9. We started T side of Dust 2, and we picked up, I believe, 9 rounds. We held our shit together. Already spoke about the halftime comments, so I'll talk about second half. Our CT side. Basically, since we were running a 1-up setup because Rick wasn't here and Dave wasn't here, we decided to play more together and played more retakes as opposed to trying to hold things off and challenging them. And I think it paid off. We had a very, very good lead.
In late 2011, Steele would start his CS Source YouTube page, which included showcasts, tips and tricks, match VODs, and other Source-related videos. In total, he would end up with about 50 videos on this YouTube channel before abandoning it for his newer Josh Nissan CS channel. Shortly after starting the YouTube page, he would also start his own website. Steel would use this website to update fans on what the team was doing, future travel plans, as well as writing detailed articles for CS Strategy. He actually wrote a really good article on economy management for CS Source, and a lot of it still applies today. There's a lot of little nuances and tips and tricks that he goes over that are overlooked even to this day by a lot of people. The site's no longer active and looks like it was taken down a couple years ago, but credit to Web Archive for this footage.
Looks like FM Toxic is going to win this round. Neil is already on a ramp. Spots one at quad box with the knob. He goes down. Neil is going to stick the bomb at the moment. Smoke in hand! Scream with 3 huge kills. Can he make it a 4th? What a round by Scream. Very Games was pushed down, so there's huge strategic frags going on here, as RPK does manage to pick up 2 really crucial frags, which puts it into a 1-versus-1 Red Snake versus Kenny S. And Kenny S, this is his, I guess, debut on the team at the moment. So this is going to be a load of pressure for him. As we do see 29 health versus going against 91 in this 1-versus-1. Kenny S, like, no need to peek. You know where he is. You know there's 30 seconds left. You know exactly what he has to do. I think you should have just waited for him to get out of position and then peeked him. Just because you don't have the health to fight that long range battle.
Going into April of 2012, Steel would compete at Copenhagen Games with Fully Torqued, which included Mo, TCK, Frost, and Monty. They would finish 3-0 in the group stages and later go on to score a huge upset win over Very Games, sending the French team packing for a 9th place finish. Fully Torqued would work their way through the lower bracket before finally being knocked out by Epsilon, leaving them with a 4th place finish.
I'm Richard Lewis, reporting from Cabaret.org. I'm here with the Battle of the Egos. It's the Steel and Mo show.
Oh, we're definitely we're bonding really well at this trip, so none of it's real. Anytime they hear us bickering, it's all in good fun. We're boys.
I disagree. I hate his guts, and
You said we're gonna keep it simple. Like I don't.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's all in fun. We're just doing it for the fans, really.
Well, I said as well, like, that the team were getting an upgrade when they brought Mo in. No disrespect to Days, you know, if you're watching, but I just think Mo is, you know, an upgrade from him, especially at LAN. Again, no offense, Days. But what do you think of it? I mean, when you brought Mo in, was he honestly the first choice?
He was my first choice. Yes. We definitely needed like the not like afraid awper just to go in and single-handedly take rounds into his own hands, and that's what he's been doing. He had like 5 aces and he was completely stat padding on all the teams. So as soon as I knew like I knew I needed his playstyle, I knew I needed his aggressive op. We have the passive op, and you know what, it's really coming together well, and we're doing really well right now with him.
But I'll ask you a little bit about Global Offensive. I don't know what you guys think of it on your side of the Atlantic. Have you been enjoying it, playing with it, getting to grips with it? And if so, will you be making the switch? You're going to ride Source out till the end? What are your ideas?
I've been playing it, the beta, since December, and the game was complete ass cheeks back then. The past couple of weeks, they released an update where the guns actually shoot properly, the recoil's proper, and first bullet actually goes where where your crosshair is. So I'm seeing massive improvement in the game, but for them to take 4 months to make that one little change, it's like, what are you doing? I think they should make it free to play, and I think that they should dump money into the game, and I think it could be a huge success and it could really take off.
I'd play it. I mean, if there's tournaments and stuff, I'd play it. I like it, but it's nowhere near Source in terms of like just competition-wise. It's too random right now. But when they master it, I wouldn't mind switching.
And a very final question, it's aimed at you. Why are you so fixated on bulking up at the moment?
Well, it's bulking season, guys. I have a couple months before summer, so I'll lean out.
All right, well, there you go. Guys, honestly, it's great to see you at an event again. I think everyone was like really psyched that the Americans are coming back and the Canadians were coming back to a European event. And, you know, I hope you guys do really well. It's especially good to see you again. Been a long time, bro.
In May of 2012, only a few weeks after Copenhagen Games, Steel would join MTW, a Tier 1 German organization. The offer would come with the promise of a salary and gaming house, but as Steel revealed in his recent interview with Richard Lewis, MTW failed to deliver on all fronts. Steel would use his British family ties in order to stay in Europe to compete, but with MTW not providing the promised gaming house or salary, Steel would be forced to stay with friends and relatives during this time.
So we took it was sort of a calculated decision to take, Josh. It wasn't just there's no one left in Europe. I mean, there really wasn't anyone as well. True. truth be told. I mean,
Oh, okay.
but no, we saw Josh play in Copenhagen, and I saw him at DS Rack, and we've boot camped and spoke with each other before, and me and Andre actually spoke with MTW about the possibility of it happening, and yeah, it's more calculated than that. I mean, it's obvious to everyone that we don't think you can play on 100 ping forever. Yeah. Hinting.
I've been on Dynamic for a short stint, a few months, Cyber Revolution, Check 6 for ESWC, 3D Max for an ESCA season, and then Torqued, which was self-funded. So, I mean, as far as going around with like actual organizations, it's just been the one guy from Dynamic, the one guy from CyberRev. So we didn't really, and then Sam from 3D Max. So it's just been like one person. So I haven't really been able to say, yeah, this is significantly better or significantly worse. I haven't had the experiences to be able to really.
Isn't that weird for someone of your pedigree, though? I mean, like, everyone would probably say you're one of the best all-rounders in the North American continent. I know you've said that as well. So, I mean, yeah, I know this is the new reinvented steel, right?
Turn a new leaf, okay?
So, but come on, seriously though, isn't it weird that do you not think maybe you should have had a bit more experience, like, because you know you're one of the premier players from your continent?
I think it was just a combination of shitty timing for me to come into the scene, and also just shitty era for Counter-Strike Source. I mean, it's after the CGS is when I started playing, when all the sponsors had already left. So I think I got boned in that aspect, but I'm trusting that, you know, being on board MTW is going to turn that around.
What's it like playing with Sam though? Because look, he'd be the first to admit it if he was here, right? He is a difficult dude to play with, and I mean, I've interviewed a lot of players who are like, just don't ask me that, man, because it's like he's great outside the game, in game. Wow, one mistake and you know it's tough. So for sensitive guys like yourself, what's it been like?
I really haven't played with him. I don't know how he is in game. He doesn't know how I am. Most people seem to think that we should be fine. I don't know. Some people, for some.
If you could get along with Mo, right? Though, surely you can get along with Sam.
Everyone gets this. I don't know. They get this feeling that I'm some sort of big rager in game, and I have this huge ego, and I can't play with anyone. I think it was just one person in my entire career that I couldn't really get along with. And yeah, like I played with Mo, and he would start yapping, and I'd just tell him to shut up, and he would. So I'm assuming that we won't have issues. It's basically how I view Rattlesnake is the European version of Dazed. Yeah. So it shouldn't be an issue.
Just with better hair. I'm kidding. I had to say that.
He wears a hat. Dazed wears a hat everywhere.
Now? Now he does. I've seen those pictures you guys were circulating. I can't believe you're all going to stand here and act all innocent about it. Not you personally, but you know, you American types. Daze knows what I'm talking about. I think they bully you, dude.
No. I did make the picture. I made the picture with him next to John Travolta from Grease.
There we go. Right.
No, I did do that, but no, I didn't have problems with him in game. And like,
yeah, he really did that.
I did. Get over it. It was 2 years ago.
Never playing with Catcher, always on ESCA.
While playing for MTW, Steel would still compete in ESCA with Fully Torqued. Nearing the end of Season 11 with only 3 matches remaining, Dazed and Steel would find themselves on the receiving end of a 1-week ESCA ban due to unsportsmanlike conduct. The exact circumstances of the ban are not exactly clear. ESCA claims that Dazed and Steel intentionally delayed the match at halftime by not readying up, whereas Fully Torqued claim that they were experiencing client issues that prevented them from readying up. In any event, more drama would ensue later that day when Fully Torqued attempted to reschedule their match against Team Dynamic due to the ban. Team Dynamic would refuse to reschedule despite it being a highly anticipated matchup. Fully Torqued would take the forfeit loss and limp into the playoffs as the number 5 seed.
And so Josh, we all know that you play for the European team now, MTW. How does that conflict with competing with your North American team?
Well, at the moment it doesn't conflict at all because they're 5-6 hours ahead of me, so it's been no conflict at the moment.
And how do you think your team roster is doing in conjunction? I mean, you guys have been together, you've been to big lands together. Is everything working out well?
Are you trying to stir up some inter-team turmoil right now? Like, I don't get it.
Possibly. I mean, there may be conflicts in the team. You might need roster changes.
Whose side are you on? Like, are you trying to like make us break up at the LAN before we play the finals?
I'm here rooting for Zomblers.
Upon the release of CSGO, Steel would struggle to find a team to call home. Despite living in the UK, Steel would continue to play ESCA with a variety of teams. He would finally reach the Invite playoffs with Homeless after 5 seasons of CSGO. Homeless consisted of old friends and some new faces. Their roster for Season 15 would be Frost, Monty, Mossbeck, and Freakazoid. Although they made the LAN finals, they unfortunately would not make much of an impact. They would manage to beat Mousebaz in their opening game, only to be knocked into the lower bracket by Complexity and then eliminated by United 5, whom at the time had some familiar faces on it, most notably former player turned caster Jason Moses O'Toole.
Homeless starting off on the CT side, it is composed of Mossbeck, Monte, Frost, Steel, and Freakazoid. And the Steel Series roster rundown for United 5, we got Moses, TM, XP3, Warden, and Storm. XP3 trying to peek out from the A hallways. Looks inside the side, gets a quick scope in the face of Freakazoid. What a shot. But it's down to 19 HP. Mossbeck then peeks across, kills him. Now it's up to Moses. Can he clutch another 2 versus 1? Gets the first headshot, down to a 1 versus 1. 14 seconds left on the clock, and now Mossbeck is stuck. He can't move up at all. Moses takes the advantage, run across towards CT spawn, but he gets spammed down to 18 HP. Spawn now being loved, flash countered. Mossbeck now full health, and or should I say full vision. As Moses was able to walk back inside the site. Mossbeck still thought that Moses was inside CT spawn, so when he jumped across, he gets the kill.
These last 2. I can't believe I've headshot him, and that's it.
They're just doing the delay same way.
On March 28th, 2014, Steel would reunite with Dazed and join him on the iBuyPower roster, only 2 days after Swag was added to the team. With a roster of Dazed, AZK, Skadoodle, Swag, and Steel, this team would be, at least on paper, the undisputed best team in North America. And while LAN results would have their ups and downs for the iBuyPower crew, their ESEA Season 16 championship would certainly be one of their high points. iBuyPower would cruise through the tournament, only losing 1 map, and in fact only giving up more than 10 rounds in 3 of the 9 maps that they played. The ESEA Season 16 LAN Finals would also be the only international LAN tournament in CSGO history that featured 2 NA teams in the finals, iBuyPower and Complexity. Virtus Pro, Navi, and NIP would all fail to reach the finals on American soil.
They played heavily on mid and they had Steel all the time here. Look how far back Virtus Pro are holding in the A bomb side. And that actually lost on the last round.
Exactly.
They have very little information, and if they lose 1 bomb side, the rotation time is so huge. And look at what is allowing Daze to do. Because they're so far back, no mid control, he's going to be walking up and backstabbing the team. This is going to go really badly for Virtus Pro. Daze rushing in, they're being sandwiched right now. The in-game leader for iBuyPower, taking down by Ali first, and now look at that panic in Virtus Pro. They realize there's someone coming up from behind. How did that happen?
10 seconds left, though. Not a lot of time to work with here. They have to execute now. They're still chasing around, spraying around. They've got 1 down, 1-2 versus 2, and Swag doesn't have the time. Let's hear it from their perspective, because they have to be frustrated with themselves.
Keep taking B control. This time we'll fake A and then hit B across and span across upper B.
But let me take B right before we do this. It looks same.
Okay. Can I get a drop, do you think?
Yeah, I got Sam, you want me to go
Yeah,
Alright then. Not even phased by the Bialy's actually checking over there towards mid, making sure they don't come through vents, because they could still wrap around, but that's not going to be a case here. Scooter able to take down 1, Swag as well. Now we're back here to this 3-on-3 with 30 seconds left to play.
And this is working out so well for iBuyPower. Virtus Pro, their positions just weren't good enough inside that B bomb site. Now they have to retake it 2-on-3, and if they lose this round, it's match and map point for iBuyPower. Great headshot from Neo, makes it a 2-on-2. They're still holding inside AZK and Swag underneath here, and AZK right by the boiler.
It's a tough spot. Swag almost gave himself open there, and they're going to be able to push in. Taz picking up 2.
Like, you can't just sit there. What? Max was watching jail. All you had to do was peek and you would have killed him. Dude, don't play like a pussy. You better aim than all of them. Just by pistol. That's it. It's pistol flat.
Last round. Here comes the push towards the A side. Skadoodle initiating things here. And they've gone back and forth now. The in-game leader, he's going to fall. Pasha's been able to pick up 2 before he falls. Now down to a 3-on-3.
Swag with the backstab. This could be huge. Snags doesn't realize Swag's going to get the kill. And now it's a 1-on-3. Neo,
that long rotate too. Oh my goodness.
This seems
man, that's
impossible.
frustrating.
And Swag trading right here. He's not even afraid. Neo pushes up and Swag gets the finishing kill. And iBuyPower defeat Virtus Pro in a best-of-3. It went all 3 maps. 16-14 in the end. What a matchup. What an incredible game. Steel can take Hiko down through the squeaky door, and it's a 4-on-3.
They're all playing so well. From iBuyPower, they're all doing exactly what they're expected to do.
If they go down, it's going to be Days to spot them, and he's going to cobble back up so soon. Molotov reigns in now. They either move back or forwards, and they're going to move back, and that buys a lot of time now for the CT side. ACK looking as well. If they come out here, they're going to get crossfired, and Steel is also moving in.
AZK has also another incendiary grenade, so look out for that one later on. Well, never mind, he doesn't need it. They're just going to be able to pick them apart now, 14-0. And so now there's still 2 other players to worry about. There's going to be Anger. He's going to make a call out there. Now you can see they're going to be able to push up, left up to Hiko. Mag 7, and that is going to do it. Your ESCA Season 16 Land Final champions is going to be iBuyPower. And then on the other side, Complexity will come in as the second place. So North Americans finish 1 and 2.
On August 21st, 2014, Steel and his iBuyPower teammates would decide to bet against themselves and intentionally lose their scheduled CEVO match against Netco Guides, a decision that would change Steel's career forever. Richard Lewis would spend the next few months building and verifying evidence to prove to Valve that the match was intentionally lost by iBuyPower. The first piece of evidence came quickly after the match when Steam chat logs of Shazam were sent to Richard Lewis. The story was later corroborated by the ex-girlfriend of Deborn, an ex-pro player that organized the throw and placed the bets. The logs from Deborn's girlfriend gave Valve no choice but to act on the information and start their own investigation.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, iBuyPower, I keep saying it, but it seems like they just aren't fully back from Europe. It seems like they're just lagging a little bit here. They're not hitting their shots. They're a little sluggish on the comms and, you know, the nade placement, and it just seems like they're struggling. And you see that in the 8-2 score, and now they're back on another save because they picked up those 2 rounds. So, I mean, the deficit is just going to get bigger as we progress into this game, and it's a slightly CT sided map, but it's not that much. I don't know if iBuyPower will be able to come back on the next half. Even so, they're still able to buy. Steel picking up the op again. Not sure what's up with that trend. How come Skadoodle isn't opping here? But, you know, I don't know.
They're letting Netcode Guides absolutely dominate them, and they need to get out of here. Cutler spraying through the smoke does an absolute ton of damage to Steel, who's working the op, and it's very weird to see Steel opping over Skadoodle. I don't know if Skadoodle is not feeling it right now or what is going on, but iBuyPower is definitely not playing like iBuyPower.
No, they aren't. I mean, we've seen that round after round. I mean, you know, usually iBuyPower is hitting their shots, making their trades, but they're struggling. And like I said, I mean, there's been 4 to 5 times where they've actually gone in the bomb site and planted, and they just can't manage to hold it, even on rounds where they have the odds in their favor. So yeah, it's a struggle right now for iBuyPower.
In October 2014, with the Throne match investigation looming over their heads, iBuyPower would compete at the Face It Season 2 LAN. And while they would finish second to a very strong Fnatic lineup in the finals, many people would argue that this may have been the best showing of iBuyPower to date, showing that they could go toe-to-toe with the best European teams in the world on European soil. Easily the highlight of this tournament is the 2v5 that Steel and Dazed pull off against LDLC in round 44 of overtime.
But he won't be getting it.
He's got other things on his mind, frankly, as they come in.
Problem.
This is quite the onslaught now from LDLC, taking no prisoners into a bomb site. Jay's going to make his way around Boiler, up into the apartments. That's a great frag onto Happy, but they know where he is now. It's a nasty choke point to attack from. Yeah. He really needs Steel to help him out. Steel is not really in a great position himself at the moment.
There's no real reason to save, I don't think, in this case. They have so much money.
Exactly. It's all about making the magic happen. You're gonna see Steel and Daze trying to synchronize. Oh, they're catching them off guard. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, LDLC not looking healthy. Oh, how did they do it? How did they do it? iBuyPower pick up the round. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Oh, he's doing the birdie.
Oh, the celebration from Steel. He's going to come out huge. Only 1 frag as it goes to a 3-on-3. Great shot from... Actually, no, he missed that shot. I thought that was dead on.
It would have been a great shot.
Smoke down, bomb planted, LDLC on the rotate.
But Daze with a big flank here. Even though LDLC has the health advantage, if Daze can catch one, he might be going too slow, though.
That timing is so critical. Krioshima very timely 180 there, as again the heating poly set up at the back of the site, looking very strong indeed. AZK
looking good for iBoy power.
There's surely no way that this can be taken away from them now. Yoshima gonna get taken out. Beautiful shot found by AZK. Smith is just doing the crab walk with the CZ.
Yeah, I guess it's justifiable. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Skadoodle's still alive.
I can't tell you how many times it happened to me when we played them, and it's like having a nightmare watching this.
Skadoodle with the AWP close race. Oh! Gets the first shot. Oh, anything else though. MBK does take it down. And here we go, swagging with another frag. It's just Shocks left. As Shocks will make his way back up through the balcony. He's got to get himself a cleaner approach. This is the only solution, a quick one-on-one, and that's it. iBoy power. They throw down their headsets. They are so pleased. The tension all relieving just in that one moment.
On January 21st, 2014, just 4 days before Valve would announce their ruling, Steel would ironically, or maybe unironically, try and sell about $1,600 worth of skins at 65% market value on the ESEA forums. The comments in the thread are as you would expect. 4 days later, Valve would hand out their judgment and ban Steel from any Valve-sponsored event. The ban would not only affect Steel as a player, but also as a coach, observer, and commentator, all disciplines that Steel has dabbled in. Steel remains active in CSGO and can often be seen playing or casting smaller LAN events that are unaffiliated with Valve. Most recently, he would join the Beyond the Summit casting crew in April of 2017 to share his knowledge and experience in CSGO. It's been over 2 years since Valve handed down the ban to the iBuy Power players, and community pressure to unban them still remains. And while it's unlikely that Valve would unban them, it does seem like various tournament organizers are beginning to reevaluate their position on the ban. Meanwhile, Steel continues to stream and create YouTube content as his full-time job.
Why is he trying to knife me? Yo.
I hope you guys enjoyed this Steel player profile, and if there's anybody in particular that you would like covered, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I could do. Thanks for watching, guys.